Imagine with me for a second a world without cell phones. No instant communication. And certainly no texting. No! I can see your crying faces already. Now imagine that your family goes to the grocery store, but you have to tell your friend immediately whether or not you can go hang out at their house. What would you do? Wait for your parents to get home? Make the decision yourself? Sit and cry in your room about how your parents are ruining your life? Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Chaffin, and in today's lesson, we're going to talk about why the American colonists wanted so badly to create their own governments. Remember our example from the beginning, and let's get started. For a few hundred years, England's government was run by an elected group called Parliament. Their job was to make laws that represented the interest of the common people. That's what's called a representative assembly. In other words, people vote for who they want to represent them, and then those representatives, or delegates, go and make laws. Brilliant, right? Well, not so fast. When settlers arrived from England to the 13 colonies, they were already used to having certain rights.
Cool.
So when they got to the New World, it seemed like a given that these rights would transfer across the ocean. For many of the colonists, though, they would figure out the hard way that they were the kids in our example, and the king and parliament were kind of like the parent that had all the power. Think mother country. Yeah, that's right, because mom was really in charge. What happens next is nothing short of amazing, and pretty much the most used page out of the Teenage Handbook. Get ready for this. The colonists broke the rules and started making decisions by themselves. Oh no. Yeah, as early as 1619, the colonists had formed their own representative government in Virginia, called the Virginia House of Burgesses. A burgess is another word for representative. And in 1620, the Pilgrims signed the Mayflower Compact, which was the first self-government in the colonies. In 1639, colonists in Connecticut had created their own version of self-government called the Fundamental Orders of Connecticut. In other words, the colonists were making decisions about their laws and leaders and their colonial society without the king. Double gasp. There were a lot of obvious reasons why they would want to do this, and the most super obvious one is that their mother country and their king was like over 3,000 miles away. To put that in a measure of time, that's like over 2 months of sea travel. So, to put it simply, the biggest reason why colonial representative governments grew was because of the distance between the 13 colonies and their mother country. Think about it, our made-up world with no cell phones and instant communication? Well, that was their world, and so it sure made it nice not to have to wait for the king if you needed a decision made now. Oh, what's that? Oh no, I'm fine. I'm just waiting on the king to answer. It'll be like 2 or 3 months. Don't worry though, I CC'd myself. I mean, really? Besides the distance, there were a couple of other reasons why taking a DIY or do-it-yourself approach to government was best. Like the need to set up a, quote, social contract among themselves so that everyone is following the same rules. Plus, if we're honest, the king just, forgot about them. If they weren't causing him any problems, then he didn't have to worry about them. So, basically like the worst parent ever. Plus, each new generation of colonists learned from the examples and rights of other colonial governments that had been successful. Alright, so lots of information today, but we're just going to keep it big picture. So, in all the information today, we just need to walk away knowing one question, and that is, what were the reasons for the development of representative government in the colonies? So if we think, mother country, 13 colonies, what was in the middle separating them? If you can dial in that piece of information, then this whole topic will become, I think, pretty simple for you, and you'll definitely understand why the colonists got fired up when the king took away their governments during the Revolutionary Era. All right, well, there you have it. You've officially been schooled by Mr. Chaffin. Thanks for watching today. And remember, history needs you to keep the story going. Take it easy.